stuff gets pumped up here from our collection system. This is the highest point at the plant. We're going to flow downhill from here for the most part. And what we're doing is we're screening out Bic lighters, condoms, feminine products with these screens, and then they come to these, they're called macerators. They get chopped up into tiny little bits and come off that conveyor into this dumpster. Back in the day, they used to just drain these things. They're about 20 feet deep at the deepest point and let the sludge sit there, and that sludge down there is just awful. So these are the primary clarifiers. What's going on here is what comes out of the equalization basins. Raw comes in the center, and as it makes its way out here, the big stuff settles out. There's an arm moving around very slowly. The one on the surface is skimming the grease off. There's another one on the bottom that's bringing the sludge in towards the center to our pump. And that's what goes to the anaerobic digesters on the bottom. And this top stuff goes to the grease pit. So these, we have 5 basins here. They're rectangular and they go in that direction. And what's going on, this is our anaerobic zone. And we're not providing any oxygen here. This is where the bacteria are releasing their phosphorus and they're picking up energy at the same time. So this is where they're taking the nitrate and the NO3 and they're releasing nitrogen gas. A secondary clarifier is just like a primary clarifier. It's just we're trying to get the bacteria back in our secondaries because they're secondary to the biological activity. And what goes on here is you can see there's a line that goes along the bottom, and this is a special unit because what this one does is kind of like a vacuum cleaner. That arm rotates around very, very slowly, vacuuming up the sludge. And on the top end, there is a rubber squeegee that runs across the whole length of the clarifier. And when this trough goes underneath that squeegee, it just pushes everything on the surface into the trough. But that brown stuff in the aeration basins, it's called mixed liquor. So that comes directly into the center, and as it flows towards this outer edge, most of it has settled out though. You can see the light on. What happens is the water's flowing through this channel, and these are just long light bulbs like fluorescent bulbs in your office. They have a very specific spacing, and what the light's doing is it's rearranging the DNA of any pathogens that are present, anything else that's in there too. And this is a smart system. It uses a ton of power, so it senses how clean or dirty the water is, and it automatically varies the intensity of the bulbs just so that we don't end up spending a lot of money on extra power here if we have really clean water, which we typically do. And this is the end product. We've made as much methane gas as possible, and this is what's left over. This is going to get spun around really fast in our centrifuge, and that's going to be headed for compost. This is our centrifuge, or our solids handling building. Fairly smelly stuff. You can smell some of the ammonia in there. But what it is it's, you know, that brown goo we saw coming out of the anaerobic digesters, it's that with the water removed. The centrifuge is upstairs, and it comes down this conveyor, loaded into these trucks. Thank you guys for coming. And you know, tell everybody, yeah, we stink, but we're cool too, right? Yeah.
Okay, let's do it again.